Warframe folk, if you didn't know, Warframe actually had an interview talking about the Warframe dating romance system, building Warframe 1999's narrative web that powers its upcoming relationship system. So let's take a look and see what Warframe dating is truly going to look like. And I know a ton of people already hate it. There's so many comments out there being like Warframe killed, or romance killed Warframe, or things like Warframe pushed back the techno-site Coda infested liches for romance. And yeah, there's memes everywhere. Realistically, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but hey, we'll find out when we read the comment section later and we see if people really hate this or really like it. But from what I've seen, a good chunk of people do really hate this, so we'll find out. How do you inject a little romance into a game all about space ninjas? Well, it seems that Digital Extremes has come up with the answer to that question. Announced back at TennoCon in July, Update K transported back the era where Y2K dominated headlines, while many of us were making lasting friendships through portals like MSN, Messenger, ICQ, AOL, AIM, right, all that stuff. And you might just get a New Year kiss. Yeah, they're talking about Warframes making out. Okay, so they're talking about they've been working on this for a while. It was a big key, etc. and so forth. Now let's take a look at a quote. It was a matter of us always wanting to try and bring things we like about games into our own game. The things we like about games into our own game. But doing it in a way that contextually didn't feel forced. So like Reb and everyone's been playing apparently a lot of dating sims. Just all of the Warframe dating sims. Okay, creative director Rev Ford tells me in an interview earlier this week, she continued, and we know our players love that a lot of our NPCs, there's players that love their favorite syndicates, their favorite factions, we really have always wanted to try and do a romance system. So it's like, okay, Warframe's like, the devs are horny, the Warframe players are horny, everyone's just super horny in Warframe. How can we take advantage of that? And that's how we found out. Ford tells me that when the Duvaried Paradox was teased, the team really wanted the adult operator to be a platform to tell more mature stories. And that time felt ripe for this type of storytelling with Warframe 1999. Ooh. I'm just saying, everyone, I've recently been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey because it's something, you know, I owned. And it has dating, if you will. No, you can pretty much randomly sleep with a bunch of dudes and a bunch of women in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you know? You swing both ways. I don't see why Warframe just doesn't do that. You just kind of like, you hit the AO, let's do it kind of dialogue, and then you just kind of fade into black as you walk into someone's bedroom, and then you walk out being like, hey, that was great. Hey, Warframe could do that. We could have Warframe sex, chat. Just give us 2 more years. Give Digital Extremes 2 more years to cook before they start happening. As we started writing quests and developing content for the story and the player's hero arc, you know, having a child can put you in a really interesting story situation, but never romance, obviously. What do you mean? Have you never watched Batman? The whole romance shenanigans were thrown here and there with like Catwoman, and there's always a lot of romance. Romance shenanigans cause a lot of conflict. Isn't that entire like romance, romantic comedy, and like isn't that the entirety of that entire genre, right? So Drifter exists. We had everything set up. Okay, we have an adult character and we have Protoframes. Oh, that's what they meant. Do they mean having a child as like being the operator child? Interesting story situations, but never romance, obviously. Oh, that's what they meant. No, okay, no. I see what they mean now. Because yeah, as operator, since you were a child, you know, you can't really go around making out with everybody because you were a child. So now you have Drifter. Okay, no, that's what they were saying. Apparently my brain just didn't brain well there. Okay, cool. What makes this work well, according to Ford, is that it's not simply, Warframes like we're used to seeing, but exploring what exactly make these characters not just Warframes with human faces. It is a chance to show characters like Arthur and the rest of the Protoframes in a way that helps to reinforce their humanity. That's right. That's right. We did it. We did it. I don't think it will have worked as well in any other updates, Ford says. She continues, because we need to show that the people are humans, aka the Protoframes that are going to become Warframes, are trying to keep their humanity. However, to tell this story, another piece seemingly needed to help get a romance system off the ground. A USA Today best-selling dark fantasy and villain romance novelist. Oh, Kat Kingsley. This is, I believe they're talking about him working, her, I'm not sure, working and like just doing a lot on the dev short and going through all the romance stuff. Either way, Kat Kingsley is a game industry veteran, having worked most recently at Volition as its chief of staff before moving to Digital Extremes after the former Saints Row studio was shut down last year. RIP. Thankfully, Kat had a mega fan of DE, creative director Reb Ford, a LinkedIn message, and a phone call later. Kat was brought on to help build the narrative. That's right, everybody. That's how you get jobs. You just shoot and you might get it, especially if you are a well-known creator of stuff, which, you know, always make things 10 times easier. Having a good resume and being known is better than not. So yeah, I've been trying to change the language a little bit to call it a relationship system because you can engage with all of the characters fully platonically as well as romantically. That's right, you can just be good buddies. You don't have to make out with them, but that's up to you. Kingsley says she also notes that interacting with them romantically, isn't required, and there's nothing locked away lore story-wise if you don't pursue a romantic relationship with a character. Nice. Yeah, we'll see what she's been cooking when the full update hits for sure. I wanted to make sure that a player who didn't want to romantically pursue a character like Arthur or Quincy still had the same reasons to talk to them and didn't feel the need to like, oh, if I want to get the cool lore tidbits, I'd have to flirt with these characters. Fair enough. This is good for someone like me who tends to fail miserably at romance systems in games like Baldur's Gate 3 and others. I have, as my daughters would say, no riz. Oh, very unfortunate. I can't believe I just typed that, but here we are. Damn, dude. Kat Kingsley confirmed no riz. Unfortunate. Her daughter's roasting her. Damn. Okay. Now, one of the most unique ways that Warframe 1999 is presenting this relationship system is through the windows of a 90s era instant messenger. For people who are around during the late 90s, messenger systems were a format of building online relationships. Yeah, it's a Warframe Discord for sure. Warframe MSN, Discord, everything like that. Hey, thank you for the Prime sub. Sent Norcos? Thank you, Norcross. Okay, either way, not bad. Still have quite a few friends from school who found their significant other on MSN or AOL. Okay, so Kat Kingsley had a lot of people who just met online. Immediately transported back old MSN days. Okay, I see Kia as a middle schooler. Cool, continue on. Text-based was also a way of the team to build a robust romance system, and Reb said it needed to be both visually and systemically as simple as possible. That understandable. So the team could actually end up using it in Warframe. For it describes as a crit screen where Isuki meets MSN, because like me, she was an MSN messenger kid. Yeah, I remember MSN. We don't talk about the dark days of the past, okay? Don't worry about it. We knew it was a text-based system, so that as a screen, the presentation of it needed to live in a space that players could log into their 1999 CRT screen and engage with the system without feeling overwhelmed. This is where the background and game design help, because they could definitely help a lot with like how to actually interpret that. Okay. Warframe's upcoming romance system being text-based isn't unique necessarily to Warframe. Well, yeah, it's just a dating sim. We have a billion of those out there. What do you mean? That's just called a dating sim. There's 1,000 of those. Anyways, either with Reb listing off quite a few games that have text-based relationship systems and games. Like, yeah, no shit. You'd have to be actually brain dead to think like dating sims is an original idea, right? Because like, yeah, no shit. This is just a goofy little paragraph here. It's like, yeah, of course, dude. From Honkai Star Rail to Street Fighter 6, however, its 99 feel nostalgia IM systems feel true to Warframe's identity in a way that makes it feel unique. Yeah, it's just a call out to back in the day. It's cool. Not everything is going to be groundbreaking and like game changing, my dudes. This is just like a dating system. Chill. I don't know. I think it's weird when like games media or movie media try to talk about like the simplest things as like something groundbreaking. It's like, dog, it's just a dating sim. It's just a text-based dating sim. We've had those sort of games out for like the longest of times. There's probably a billion R34 hentai games that are literally that. So I mean, like, it's not original, but it's like a cool, cute side system. We're not reinventing the wheel. Games aren't wholly original. I don't know why people try to always hype it up like that. It's very odd. Either way, this isn't a skinny system either. The team, outside of just building out UI, had to also design new elements to inject into Digital Extreme's proprietary engine that powers Warframe, just to support a romance system on offer. Yeah, okay, maybe people are gonna be very angry that this is like such a huge development and they're not getting Technosite Coda. Yeah, okay, maybe I get it more now. This sounds like a lot of work. Then, that system had to be able to support new features, massive word count. Yeah, 140,000 words. So that like, hey, maybe the romance side system costs millions, tens of millions of dollars. Who knows? We composed it in an online whiteboard system. We had to break it up multiple boards because we were lagging it out badly. Having all the characters on one that it was crashing everyone's browser, Kat explained. She continued. So we had to break it out to do in just a few words, in just the word count. Okay, I added it all up out of curiosity. It's over 140,000 words in the relationship system. A standard novel is 70,000 words, so the relationship system, all 6 characters together, is the equivalent of 2 full novels worth of content. Sweet. The other challenge comes from the fact that all the writing feeds into a branching, interwoven narrative structure that has to support itself. Yep. I think the drops on Wednesday are like 3 p.m. ET, another hour or two. All of this is parallel branching, Kat explains, and it's all branching narrative, which becomes sort of exponentially problematic as time goes on. So you have to end up adding in logic tags because the characters remember every previous conversation you've had. So every time you talk to them about something, if you want to be able to continue on that conversation, they have to be able to recall what you spoke about yesterday. And if I want to be able to continue a thread that's important and you missed a conversation, I have to be able to catch you up on that. Yeah, looks like they actually put a ton of effort and time and work into the Warframe 1999 romance system, which will totally anger a lot of people. Because I know so many people are angry that it's like, this is so much work for Warframe. I want more Warframe. All of this to help create a world where characters feel real and believable. Is also to balance the fact that Warframe itself is still a live service game, and these decisions you make, whether to romance a certain character or just interact platonically with another, they come to regret it later, need to matter. However, Reb does say that while you live with the decisions made on this front, there'll be an interval period where players can change their minds, go back, relive the experience on their account. Yep. No official release date yet. We might hear about that this week, next week, during the Game Awards, during Giant Bomb Live. We just straight up don't know because Warframe is chaos. Okay, good. Our problem is we don't have save scumming. We don't have the ability for the players to go back and change things, Ford explains. So we had to design the system in a way that your choices matter, but they had to put in like checkpoints, right? But because you only have one Warframe account with no save states, we need to give the player an interval-based way to change their mind, reset things, so they're not heartbroken for the rest of their Warframe career. RIP. So a really important distinction on how we implement this system is a way in terms of how you interact, but it's up to the player to give an interval, which we'll talk about more on release, how they want to keep or change what they did. The system, if you decide to explore its more romantic angle, will accumulate in the characters you've romancing moving in with you, living with you, and eventually that New Year's kiss. They move into your apartment, I'm assuming your dormizone. It could also be like they were chilling in your orbiter, but either way, your Protoframe romance allegedly might move into your dormizone or something. We'll see. Which, as an explicit as Warframe is getting with the romance, that's right, there is no Warframe sex, but there might be eventually. Yeah, you never know. We do have Jade Baby, so there is Warframe sex, but there's not Warframe sex this update. At least for now. At least for now, according to Ford. That's right, maybe one day. However, each character might have its own unique quirk that comes alive during its pivotal scene, such as the massive Nyx tongue, like each one might tweak out and their technocyte brain might short circuit for a minute or two. The team at Digital Extremes is optimistic players will take the new system, but Reb admits to feeling terrified but optimistic at the player reaction when Warframe 1999 takes center in December. However, it's a sign of studios willing to take risks to do something like this, and if it's something players latch onto, who knows where the system can go into the future. I don't know. Warframe always does the thing where they create a lot of side systems and then update it maybe a little bit and never touch it, so I think this will be cool, but cool for like half a year to a year max. And then no one will ever care about it again until like new players start learning about it and messing around with it here and there. It's like with anything else. It'll be hype when it's new, and then it'll just kind of fade into the background of Warframe, such as Flappy, Zephyr, and all the other cute side game modes and things like that. But we'll see how big this ends up being for the launch, and hopefully it's actually good. I don't personally care that much. I'm not against it or for it. I'll probably do the dating sim stuff a little bit, but like meh kind of deal. But we'll see. For me, I'm really interested in the potential story and offer here. Well-written narrative can make characters jump off a page, or a screen in this case. And Kat says the approach to the relationship system was less approaching it like a video game and more as a character-driven interaction. I'm hoping that's unique for most video game romance system and relationship systems, Kat says. You may have conversations with a character that surprise you the first couple of times you talk to them. They may not act like video game characters. They may act more like people. Yeah, so it all sounds like the same. It's just hype building. No offense, but like this just all sounds like generic dating sim stuff. It'll be cool, and if it's well written, that's like really good, but like come on. I don't know, again, like I was saying earlier, I don't know why we're trying to reinvent the wheel. Nothing of this is like hyper original in the slightest. It's just like cool and new to Warframe. But like none of this is anything new that we haven't seen before. Like we've played any sort of game with such a narrative where there's choices. You've played dating sims, bigger decision-based games like Heavy Rain. Like, it's all just a similar idea but different. This is just a dating sim setup, so think of it like any of the anime weeb type dating sim games, you know? It's all the same but different. It's just relationships and chatting with the people. But the difference is there's a lot to it. But again, I don't like it when game people or anyone's like media anywhere or for movies try to like hype things up as if it's the next big thing. You may not act like video game characters. They may act more like people. Isn't that literally what everyone has always said about when they like try to make good characters? You're not gonna know this is a video game. You're gonna think they're real people. I get it though, it's Warframe 1999 hype up, and it'll probably be pretty cool in the first place for people who like this sort of stuff, but it always weirds me out the amount of overhype that some people who are working on it like give it. Because like we know what to expect. But there will be a lot of really cool tidbits, information, and hopefully like surprises, right? So I'm all for it. I will be messing around a good chunk with the whatever like romance system ends up being, which again, it's just a lot of talking. So yeah, it's just gonna be chatting with the Warframes, chatting with Arthur, chatting with all the Protoframes, and seeing how that goes. So yeah, it seems cool enough, but I know so many people are gonna be really pissed off about it because like so many people don't care about dating sim stuff. They want more Warframe and they'd rather technosite codas. So if you see a lot of people are really angry about it, probably it's because they're, you know, romance came out and technosite coda infested liches didn't. Either way, let me know what you think. Is Warframe 1999 romance gonna save Warframe? Is it going to become the future of the game? Probably not, but who knows? Cheers.